So yesterday we saw how Jesus' mission embraces everyone in the whole world. His strategy, his tactics, if you would, for accomplishing his mission was to reach the house of Israel. But he has in his mind, in his heart, the entire world. Now, because of that, in Mark chapter 7, verses 31 to 37, Jesus moves into the area called Decapolis. Again, this is not Jewish territory. This is Roman-controlled territory. This is an area in which Rome ruled and no Jews lived. The last time we saw Jesus in Decapolis, he healed a demoniac and sent the demons that were possessing the demoniac into a herd of pigs. Wonderful clue that this is not Israelite territory. They had a herd of pigs. So Jesus goes into Decapolis. And when he is there, we're told some people brought to him a man who was deaf and could hardly talk. They begged him to place his hands on the man. They brought him to Jesus. The only way they could have known about Jesus was by the testimony of the demoniac. He had been spreading the word. Jesus had told him to. So here, months or maybe even a year or so later, when Jesus returns to Decapolis, they seek Jesus out and say, "Will you heal this man?" Now, Jesus does the miracle. It's very unusual. The only time that I can remember that Jesus went through motions to heal the man. He took him aside away from the crowd. Jesus put his fingers in the man's ear, and then he spit and touched the man's tongue. It probably means he spat on his tongue. Then he looked up to heaven with a deep sigh and he said, "Ephphatha." Interesting that Mark quotes the Aramaic, which means be opened. And at this, the man's ears were opened, his tongue was loosened, and he began to speak plainly. Now, why all the hand motions? I really think it's because Jesus wanted the man to understand what was going on. So he puts his fingers in his ears, saying, "Okay, we're going to do this." Then he touches his tongue and says, "We're going to do that too." Then he looks up to heaven, telling the man, "It's not me, it's him." And then he says an Aramaic word that the man would have easily been able to lip read. Ephphatha, be opened. And the man could hear, and he could talk. The people were overwhelmed with amazement. He has done everything well, they said. He makes the deaf hear and the mute speak. So here Jesus goes outside of Israel. He does a miracle. And they say, he has done everything well. Keep that in mind as we come to the sermon this coming Sunday. This is important. Jesus does everything well. What does he need to do for you today? Rest assured, he will do it well. Be bold in what you ask for. God bless you. I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow.